Please say a command.
Okay, God! Let me have it!
Container 1, Part 2. We're going to continue to go through this first container to see exactly what's still in here. Lots of bubble wrap. We have Road Rash by US Gold. Motorcycle racing game. You can kick, punch, and club your opponents, then get really nasty. We have a Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing. It is beat up right there. Someone tried to repair it with tape. I know that I have this probably 2 or 3 times over, but this box would be in great shape if it wasn't for that, but it is Real Deal Boxing. We have NFL Quarterback Club 96, featuring the NFL's top quarterbacks. This is a very common game. I remember when I first started out collecting how this game seemed to be everywhere for super cheap. Decent football game. Some of these I put so much bubble wrap on and I don't know why. Packing tape and bubble wrap. Look at this. Look at all of that bubble wrap. It's a mint copy of Jurassic Park. But really? Did I need to put that many layers of bubble wrap on it? I guess so. I guess it was important to me at the time. But this is in super great condition. Again, Jurassic Park. The most dangerous game in ages stampedes onto Game Gear. Let's see what else we have in this container of containers. I was very strategic, and there we go. Getting this game wrapped up. NBA Jam. I think in the first video I showed you NBA Jam Tournament Edition, and then this is just the regular NBA Jam by Arena and Midway. What else is in here? We have Frank Thomas Big Hurt baseball game. Frank Thomas used to be a big-time name in sports, so this was put out by Acclaim, and it included a collector's edition Don Russ trading card. So that's something that, in order for it to be complete, it should have that collector's edition trading card in it of Frank Thomas, which I know is in there, because that was one of those stupid obsessive things you do as a collector where you look and examine each game and you're like, oh, I need to have that. I have to make sure that card is in there. And then if it's not in there, you just start the hunt. And then once you catch it and you add it to your collection, you find something else that needs to be hunted down and stalked and captured and permanently or semi-permanently encased in bubble wrap in storage containers. What do we have here, you might ask? This would be X-Men Games Master's Legacy. This feels kind of light. This is the type of enclosure where there's no tray card for the game to sit in. It's going to be hard to show that, but without the flap and everything getting in the way. The game sits in there. There is a cardboard partition inside that the cartridge case slides down into. Probably for cost's sake, they didn't include the actual cardboard tray that the game sits in, sort of like for power drive that I had showed you in the first video. So yes, you have the instruction manual. You have, of course, the actual game. And then the Sega Vision's 6 months free and learn to win. You can mail away for that. And that came as part of the insert for this particular game. Here's one. See? Barely any bubble wrap on that one. But yet it's a semi-sealed copy of Star Wars by US Gold. I say semi-sealed because the shrink wrap is still all the way around, bottom, sides, front, and back, except someone opened the top to get the game out. But the box is in pure mint condition. Again, kind of like Return of the Jedi, I really enjoy this Star Wars game. Different levels, different challenges. I enjoy it. More memory means more action. Remember that when playing that game. I have to dig. We have US Gold presents Olympic Gold, Barcelona, 92. You have the 100-meter sprint, the pole vaulting, the archery, the 200-meter freestyle swimming, the 110-meter hurdle, springboard diving, and the hammer throw. Quite a plethora of events. The guy right there, hopefully that's clear. I always thought his expression was very comical. He's throwing the hammer, but he is looking like he's in tremendous pain and discomfort. Just grab a stack and pull them up. We have Joe Montana football. Again, great box, but someone put a piece of tape right there. So I would not consider that perfect, of course. It has the gear-to-gear cable hookup, so you could use that cable to connect to another Game Gear to play your friends or someone else who would have a Game Gear system, unit, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but Joe Montana football, again, another one that just seemed to be everywhere always when I was collecting. One of those games where you're scrolling through eBay and you're like, oh God, Joe Montana again. This is another one back in the time. NHL hockey. The Ultimate Road Trip. A good hockey game if you're into ice hockey by EA Sports. Not bad. G-Lock Air Battle. Described as gripping. That's in really good shape. My opinion was that the graphics on the back, the screenshots, and the narratives were very brief and kind of simple for this game box. Yeah. Let's see what else. So much packing tape, so much bubble wrap. And this is container number 1. It's going to be years before I'm done going through all these. How about US Gold presents Outrun? I'm going to say Europa. If that is incorrect, then that's unfortunate. Stolen documents, enemy agents, and you, racing across the highways and waterways of Europe in a frantic attempt to catch the culprit before he makes it to Berlin. You need skill, cunning, and nerves to steel to survive this ultimate driving challenge. Yeah, quite a few different levels. Driving motorcycles, you can drive jet skis, speedboats, of course, all different types of cars that you can't afford. Oh, here's another one that every collector or collection starting off with Game Gear is going to have, and that's by Sega Sports, World Series Baseball. A game that you'll probably add to your collection whether you want to or not when you buy lots or you're looking for one particular game, and this game will be one that comes with it. Again, if you're into baseball games, the baseball games that they produced for Game Gear were decent. Of course, in color and just the added features that Sega Game Gear offered as opposed to its rival, of which we do not speak. And I know that the Game Gear gets a lot of criticism for its short battery life, but if you're watching this, you know that the Game Gear was a solid system that had a lot of games and was very fun to play. Even to this day, I say. Clutch hitter. This was not intentional for me to have all these sports games together in this container. I think it's just by a weird coincidence. Again, good shape. Has the gear-to-gear cable hookup option. Good shape except for that stupid piece of tape right there. Collectors out there understand that frustration. Especially when you're looking for a game for your collection and you're looking and you're looking and you're searching and then you find it and it's like that and you're like, oh, do I get it and as a filler until I find a better copy, or do I not get it and wait for, a pristine copy? I've been guilty of buying a game like that just so I can say that I have it while continuing to search for the game in as near perfect shape as I can find and get. So that's how I end up with 2, 3, 4, 5 of certain games, because my brain was saying, keep going. Nope, you can find one in better condition. You can find one in better condition. And it's, I think, the collector's peril. We have FIFA International Soccer with the hanger tab still pushed inside, was not pulled out for any reason. One player only. That was 1994. So that was, again, this one is not in what I would call acceptable shape. The original sticker that sealed the game has gotten dust and whatever on it, so it's no longer sticking down. And also there was a price tag of some sort at some point that someone was on there and someone decided to take off. With stickers on boxes, if the box is in pure mint condition and there's a sales sticker on it and no one has tried to rip it off, I can sometimes be okay with that depending on the rarity of the game. However, if it's a game that I know I can find without any sort of tags or markings on it, then I will definitely keep searching and searching until I find, say for instance, this game without that and with the tab still down clean. Oh yes, a game that I think if you just think about collecting Game Gear, I think this game just shows up in your life. And this box is a beater. It is beat up, and that is Echo the Dolphin. Whether you want to own it or not, it's going to be part of your collection. It just seems to add itself. And of course, there's a part 2. This game was okay. It was quite challenging on many different levels. And but I remember when it came out and wanting it to play it because I thought it was so cool. You could be a dolphin swimming around doing all these different adventures. And then you get it, and you play it, and you're like, okay, what else you got? But yeah, let's Echo the Dolphin. Oh, now this game has to plague every video game collector that has anything Sega Game Gear, because it was so common. It's too common. And that is Sonic 2. Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic's back in action for another Too Fast, Too Cool adventure. This game is, you can find in perfect shape for a very low amount. Fun game. Great game for the time. The colors, the action, the side scrolling, the music, everything. But this is definitely a game that every collection, I don't care what you collect video game wise, you're probably going to end up with a copy of this. Maybe even 8 or 9. Let's see what we got. Batman Returns. Looks good up front, right? From a distance looks okay, but upon closer inspection, it is torn right there and torn right along there, as though it was hanging and someone pulled it from the front and it tore. The rest of the box and everything is good. I know it's complete, and I know I have another copy of it, but it has this fancy foil sticker on the front. It's so fancy. Hopefully you can see that. If you like Batman and you want him to return, you'll get this game. With Michael Keaton as Batman. What else we got here? Ooh, this is a beater box. Probably one that I was like, I just need to have it for my collection. And that is the WWF WrestleMania Steel Cage Challenge. You have to be a few years old to be familiar with these wrestlers. Based on my age, a lot of these wrestlers, almost all, are very familiar to me. So having played this game when I was younger would have been fantastic, because at that time, these were the big star wrestlers. And I would have probably traded a kidney, not only to get a Sega Game Gear for myself as a kid, but then to get a game like this where I could associate what I was watching on TV with a game, and then actually being able to play the characters would have been pretty great. A few games not in bubble wrap? What is wrong with me? Again, NBA Jam. And it has a NBA product foil sticker on the spine. Hopefully that reflects and shines and looks really cool. That's in decent shape. I don't know why that one made it past me wrapping it up in bubble wrap. I have 3 here without bubble wrap. Another game by US Gold, Road Rash, motorcycle racing game. This is no race. It's a war where anything goes. You get to ride a motorcycle and basically kick and punch and club your opponents. Then you get really nasty, as it states on the box. I will challenge my memory in saying that I believe there's 2 versions of the cover of this box. I think I recall that. So as I go through my collection, I will have to remain mindful to keep an eye open for not only this game, but then to compare the different covers of the box. I think there's 2. If you're a collector of Sega Game Gear and you know that, can you post a comment so I don't think that I'm slowly losing my brain? Again, these are all mixed up, meaning that it's not just US games and then the next container. I know there's one container that I think is all Japanese that at some point I consolidated, but this is an example of This is a European game. James Bond 007, The Duel by Domark. Again, the hanger tag has never been removed. It is in amazing condition, the box. I recall discovering this one during a search, just a loose cartridge, and then hunting it down, and it took me a while to find it. That and Superman. I don't know why, but it took me a while to find this game box complete in really, really good shape. And that was a long time ago, but at the time I remember thinking, like, why is this game so difficult to find? And that was before I discovered games that I didn't have, like Championship Hockey, Wizard Pinball, Power Drive, 4-in-1, Galaga 2, some of the games that to this day can be quite a challenge to get into your collection in good shape. Some of those games you can get at random. You can, if you hunt them down and you're really, really diligent, you can track them and get them. And that's if you're willing to take them in any type of condition. But to find a copy in pristine condition for your collection, for those certain games, those really rare games, can drive you a little nuts at times. That's why I've been a collector on and off over the 24 years that I've been collecting. I'd get really, really intense for a while, add a bunch of stuff to my collection, and then sort of back off, and then casually be watching eBay and then find something that I didn't have, and then jump right back into it. Little spurts here and there. Spurts would sometimes last a little longer than others, but it wasn't a day-to-day, week-by-week, consistent, constant hunt for Game Gear. I was, when I first started out, it was like that, and then I chilled out, and currently I'll occasionally find something, pretty rare, that I find something that is better than what I already currently have. I'll find a game like, oh, that's in really great shape, and I'll actually remember, no, I already have that game like 5 times, so I don't need a 6th copy. This is an example of a game that I just wanted to get into my collection. It's a European game, Asterix and the Great Rescue. Very sun-faded. The back is just taped to death, taped back together to give it some sort of shape. And I know I have this in much better condition, but again, I discovered the game, and I said, you know, I really need that for my collection. So I'm just going to get this copy and have it as a placeholder for when I can find it in super great shape. Not sure if this was in the first video or not. Again, I do recycle the bubble wrap and plastic bags. Taz in Escape from Mars. Sega Game Gear takes Taz out of this world. I have to be honest, I have never played this game. I know that I own several copies, and I've never played this game. If it's good, and it's one of your favorites, let me know. Let's see. Uh-oh. We have a system. Look how beautiful that bubble wrap job is. Perfectly encasing the box. And now I'm going to destroy my efforts. Oh. But I must have wanted to keep this box in really good shape. But I also have a propensity for putting bubble wrap around everything that I own and value, except my dog. It's a Sega Game Gear system. It has the Power Pack, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie sticker. Game cartridge included. For those of you out there who collect the systems, I have found that people used to collect, and it also, it also has the sticker on the end, Power Pack. And those are actual stickers. It's not printed on the box. So I know in the years that I've been collecting, some people just wanted like one US Game Gear, and then they'd want all the different colored Japanese versions and the Coca-Cola, all of those. And now I've seen in the last probably 8 years, people chasing down box variations regardless of where they were put out. And I don't have all those. I know for a fact there's a few from overseas that I don't have, that when I have found them for sale and they're really, really beat up, or when they've been offered to me for sale, I'm just not willing to pay what is being asked for a box variation. And some are a basic Game Gear box with a cardboard sleeve that slides over. And when you consider what people are asking for that item, and you're like, I'm really going to pay that much money for a cardboard sleeve that just slides over this box, and if I slid it off, it's going to look just like this. Yeah, there has to be some limitations in how far you stretch yourself to add to your collection. That's my personal opinion. Some people seem to have endless money. I know there's collectors out there that I have gone back and forth with on eBay, and I will just say, you can have it. I'm not willing to pay what you're willing to pay for that item. I'll either be content with not having it in my collection at all, or I'll just wait till it pops up again. And if you're patient, you can find what you're looking for most of the time, majority of the time, and at a price that seems feasible for what you're trying to add to your collection. Oh, see, same container. Safely bubble wrapped. Another NFL Quarterback Club 96. Characters like, or players like Bledsoe, Elway, Favre, Dan Marino, Cunningham, Troy Aikman. Fully updated team performance attributes. So you can see container 1, already one of my first duplicates. Super Monaco GP. 1 to 2 players. Good racing game. You know, you really should strap on your helmet, fasten your seatbelt, and feel the raw power of this piston-pounding test of speed, savvy, and endurance. I'd like to meet the person that, or people that were in charge of writing these narratives to describe the game in such a way that the buyer would feel foolish or embarrassed by not buying it. Be like, I cannot read this and not go buy it. The people that were paid to describe games describe this in a way that a person will want to buy it, will feel they have to buy it, and then they use lots of adjectives, and you get it and you play it and you're like, what the hell were they talking about? This is weird thin bubble wrap. That's kind of weird. Again, a European game, Asterix, and the Secret Mission. The game is a beater box, even though the hanger tag's never been removed out. It looks like somebody sat on it. Another example of, I need a copy. I need to have a copy of that in my collection. So I know since then I think that I've gotten a better condition copy, I should say, of this particular game. What is this small wonder? I don't know. It's that weird foam that people use for shipping. It's a weird version of Christmas. My video camera decided to turn off, saying that the maximum time allowed for recording had been reached. So this must be a longer video than the first one. So I'll end it shortly. Inside this white weird foam, a Game Gear. Why did I wrap it up like that? I don't know. The screen has scratches and no battery corrosion, but I was probably in the mood like everything that goes in containers should be wrapped up and protected. And a basic unit, I'll have to test it, see if it still works, was included. Alright. 3 more games and then I'm done with this episode. Now this game is beat up by Viacom, the boxes. Viacom. Zoop. Why are you wasting time reading the box when you could be playing the game? That's their tagline on the back of the box. In quotes, I can't stop playing this game. But it doesn't say who said that. Very interesting. I'm honest, never played this game. Thank God that I own it, right? Okay, I got 2 more after this one, and then I'll let you go. I am not going to mess up this person's name, but it's Super Monaco GP2. This game I prefer over the other, like, F1 Formula 1 racing game. This came out in '92. Graphics were a little bit better, gameplay was better, the options for the cars you could race and building up your car and things like that. Then it actually says the optional car settings, allowing you to adjust the car to fit the track. That was kind of a cool feature on that game. Right. This plus 1 more and we're done. Wimbledon tennis. King of the Grand Slams. Another game where you could play gear to gear, hook up the cord and play against somebody. I've only tried that on one game. I can't remember which one it was, the gear to gear cable. And yeah, I think it worked okay. Yeah, I remember it working. I just can't remember what game it was. And the last game for this video will be Desert Speed Trap, starring Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote. Fun side-scroller, quite challenging, quite frustrating at times. 12 stages of caves, sand, and ice, plus hard-to-find tunnels and secret rooms packed with bonus goodies. Yep, so that is Desert Speed Trap. Looks like I have 3 accessories or whatever, and then the rest of the games in this container 1 are going to be Japanese games. So I will end this episode 2, container 1, part 2 now, and meet you back here in 1 week to finish this container. So until then, be well and all is well.